We continue with our energy focus. This time we take a look at nuclear energy. This follows the statements by the electricity minister that you just heard there, Dr. Kgosientso Ramakgopa, that the procurement of 2,500 megawatts of new nuclear power is at an advanced stage and that his department is finalising the procurement structure of that new build project. Joining us to discuss this further is energy specialist and Sinan Energy CEO Mohamed Madhi. Good afternoon, Mohamed. Thank you very much for joining us on The Full View. So, the very latest on nuclear, as we heard, is that the minister is expediting that process to procure the 2,500 megawatts of new nuclear power. Your views on this?
Good afternoon, and good afternoon to the viewers. You know, the problem with nuclear is, in simple terms, the window for nuclear has passed. We have had an opportunity to build a nuclear fleet back in 2010, to start the process of building a nuclear fleet back in 2010. We didn't do that for a variety of reasons. And to start a process now that will only come to a logical conclusion 8 to 10 years down the line is not going to solve the problem that we have. And when it does come on stream, it's going to be outdated, it's going to be expensive, and it's going to make a very minimal impact to what we require in this country. So I think the focus on nuclear is unfounded.
But he has gone on to state or try to clarify that very argument by some, that the new technology allows for it to be expedited, but also it's more cost effective. It's no longer like before where it would take the 8 to 10 years or cost us R1 trillion.
To put it politely, I think that is completely wrong and completely false and misleading. Now, there is no nuclear plant at scale that has been built in the time frame that has been suggested. And some of the newer, smaller, modular reactors that have been built are not going to, solve the problem that we need. And they are untested, they are untried. So I would challenge anyone to tell me that a suitable nuclear power plant with all the safety in it, and I'm not talking of the kinds of power plants that have been built in China and India and Russia, which unfortunately don't always meet the specs and don't always meet the safety requirements. But a suitable nuclear plant takes the kind of timeframes that I've spoken about. We cannot put in this country untested or unsafe nuclear plants. That's the last thing we should be doing.
And so then what do we need? What do we need? Because what citizens are saying is that yes, we can move to renewable if it's more cost effective, because electricity currently is too expensive. Citizens are up in arms, they cannot pay, we've got surcharges, we've got tariff hikes, it's all too much, they press from all ends. So what would be ideal for South Africa now? That we meet our obligations of a just transition, moving to cleaner, renewable energy, but also ensuring that we can afford it.
So you see the point you made, and you used the word now, and that's very important. Because nuclear energy, even in the government's estimate, is not going to be now. So in no one's estimate is it going to be sooner than 5 years, and realistically it's going to be 8 to 10 years. What we need to do right now is fast-track renewable energy and battery energy storage. This is absolutely what we need to be doing. So in your insert that you had, people speaking of renewable energy being very expensive, it is considerably cheaper than the grid. And that crossover point, in fact, happened back in 2018. So since 2018, solar energy on a kilowatt hour per kilowatt hour basis is cheaper than grid energy. And it has been dropping ever since. Battery energy storage is where solar was a few years ago, dropping in price, becoming more affordable. And very importantly, just like we had in the cell phone industry, you will have decentralized power and decentralized grids becoming the norm and becoming very affordable. It's already affordable for those that cannot afford your grid electricity. Renewable energy today is the cheapest form of energy.
So what of those that say, even though we would go the route of a symphony of power, as one doctor just stated, where we have the wind, the solar, and the battery storage, but you do need some sort of nuclear. Yes, we have Koeberg, and it's proven to be going or running smoothly. So in that instance, wouldn't you say that perhaps they can continue with procuring the 2,500, but also focus on the wind, solar, and battery storage? Or you're saying it's a waste of money, it's something that they should discard with, it shouldn't be something they even look to actually procure at this point?
I think the window again for nuclear has passed. The reason that we shouldn't look at nuclear, it is going to end up being more expensive than other competing technologies. So why put in place a technology that is not going to be as competitive as nuclear? We should rather look, if we have the 10-year horizon, we should rather look to hydrogen and other forms of energy that's going to be cheaper and that's going to be more abundant, that's going to be more widespread, and where the competences from the supply companies exist to provide that kind of technology. Renewable energy and battery energy storage right now can be the mainstay of what we need as we move to a completely coal-free environment. Now, we're not going to be coal-free overnight. It's going to take a while, but nuclear, by the time nuclear comes online, it's not going to help with the transition that we need between now and the next 10 years.